Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 23 of the Big Apple Battle, a New York baseball podcast. And Ed, we are 2 days away from wrapping up 2025. It's pretty crazy to think the year is almost finished. The baseball season, as you know, has been finished. The hot stove is cold. There's not much going on. It's truly the winter. But man, it's been a hell of a year, a hell of a journey. A lot of lessons learned, right? From within baseball and outside of baseball, but also, you know, I'm ready to talk New Year's resolutions for both our Mets and the Yankees. How do we feel about that today? Getting really into the forward outlook for 2026.
I don't know what just happened to my headphones, but whatever you just said, I'm hoping
I was
am going to be able to respond to.
I
But
was
I thought
watching you. Oh, I talked a lot of shit. I thought I was talking a lot of shit.
I was just about to blame you for all the audio issues. So hey, what a way to start this pod. Yeah, man,
I'll,
it's crazy. 2 days left.
no, I just assume you know what I talked about. Let's have some fun with it. Let's see where you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm assuming that you didn't say anything too egregious or hateful in that time. It sounds like it's more like a wondering of, or an amazement of how we've gotten to this point in the year. 2 days left in the 2025 calendar year, as you just said, and we have some New Year's resolutions to look forward to, or to make for that matter. We talked before this pod. Sometimes those resolutions don't make any sense because in reality, you're just going to hold yourself too accountable for one goal that you're probably not going to reach. So let's just
Yeah.
make little improvements,
Keep it
Kaizen, for lack
small.
of a better
Keep it
term.
small, Ed. Take it one day at a time, one
Exactly.
step at a time. Don't overexert yourself. Don't overextend yourself. Don't think you need to do it all at once. And our baseball teams need to do a few things slowly, step by step, wisely, strategically, and not dive in headfirst to the 3 foot area of the pool. Um, that is not.
Yes, Kaizen. So, speaking of small and shallow ends of the pool, Kaizen, the Japanese say, small improvements every day to an ultimately larger goal. And
Mm.
well, I think those are what we'll be addressing instead of maybe large sweeping changes that our teams will likely not make and will likely not adhere to. A la the lose 50 pounds or gain 50 pounds of muscle, beach bod, whatever your thing might be. You've
Oh
gotten some
yeah.
insight into mine, so yeah, we'll keep going.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think keeping it super simple. Our teams have done nothing. Well, the Yankees haven't done much. It's been a little bit quiet. The Mets haven't done anything simple. They've done a lot of things that have your us scratching our heads as Mets fans, as we discussed last week. So today on the pod, we're acting as if Ed, this is gonna be fun. Act as if these are the rosters we'll be going into the 2026 season with, without any additional adds or subtractions, which there likely will be, as you know. But let's
Mm.
assume there's not. We can't predict the future, can't assume, can't change, can't control. So let's just make it happen. So before, why are you laughing?
I like how you're trying to reason with yourself as to what little improvements can be made with the roster that you have. The nervous laughter, really just mostly on your guys' side. I have a feeling the Yankee fans are really just sort of like, what else is new? This is just what we've kind of grown accustomed to over the last couple of years, where you're just overhauling this thing and it looks like a Frankenstein sort of roster situation. You have no idea which way is up. So the nervous laughter on your end is really just what's making me giggle.
I mean, yeah, you definitely called me out and you're spot on because it is definitely nervous laughter. There is something that I am happy about. Briefly touch on Jeff McNeil trade. I know he chatted. I spoke it into fruition
No,
um,
no, you
on
did.
the last episode, thankfully. So
Like right after too. It was weird. Like the
Mets
next
fans
morning you
out there,
texted
man. I knew it. I had an inside source anyway, so it's okay. It happens.
me.
David Stern on speed dial, but that'd be pretty
Couldn't
cool.
break
But
the
no,
polar bear Pete news. Just couldn't break any of the good stuff.
no. Well, this to
I guess
me
that's
is
the
good.
bad stuff. This is the good
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, there you go.
exactly. This is the good stuff. He was sent out to Las Vegas because he will be. It's weird, I know. A Las Vegas A, right? Not the
Can't believe
Oakland
it's
A's.
happening. Well, he's a Sacramento A right
A
now. He's
Sacramento A.
in West Sacramento. Goes McNeil to play with the A's in a big deal. I'm gonna work on that.
So far, so good. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it. You got the bones, you got the base. But
there we go.
him going there for a prospect to, I think prospect, pitching prospect. I don't even know who we got for him, which is bad on my end, bad on my part. Ed, do the research for me. I see
Wow,
you. I see you digging.
unbelievable.
I know. But I was just so happy to see him gone that
It,
I was already thinking who you're gonna fill his shoes with.
it was for teenage pitching prospect
Yeah,
Yordan Rodriguez.
that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna see that guy. I'll be 40 years old by the time you see this guy in the major leagues.
But down the road, that will be a fun one where you're like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? If he does have any sort of, great phenomenal start to his career. And you're like, oh, it was that stupid deal that got McNeil out of town. Man, what idiots those A's were.
I,
I love
I,
those deals.
well, like Jeff for me, it's tough because like it's hard to not. appreciate what he did as a Met. Again, being a homegrown guy as well. Been with the team for a long time, with Pete, with Nemo, been a part of this core for a while. And, he's a batting champ in 2022 and, hit 326. He had a great season. Then he kind of fell off and people learned how to pitch to him better, I guess. They figured him out a little bit, as you know, with all the StatCast era that we're in. Um, but he had some good years as a Met. He really did. And he plays a good field. He's versatile. He can play every position. So as much as I act as if I don't like the guy and dislike the guy, I don't want to be a bitter Mets fan. I don't want to be a Frank the Tank. Like I do value what he did, what he brought. I respect the guy. He did become a little bit of a self-centered player. He wasn't much of a team guy. As we know, right? 3 for 10 in baseball is Hall of Fame, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
You're 300 hitter. You go 3 for 10. I tell my nephew that. He's striking out, he's smashing his helmet. 3 for 10. That's all you're trying to do.
You're gonna fail 7 out of 10 times. You're still a Hall of Famer, kid.
That's it. That's baseball. It's the beauty of it, right? And like Jeff, every time he got out, he throws a temper tantrum, runs down the first base side, cursing into his helmet, making a whole scene, goes in the dugout, doesn't talk to anyone. You could just see it, and you could tell there was something going on in the dugout, in the clubhouse that we just didn't know about. But like with Lindor, they had a bunch of issues, and Lindor's early tenure as a Met, as you know, they were fighting in the tunnels a few games, and it might have been the first year actually. It was
Yeah.
some dumb shit going on there, and yeah, I don't think it's ever really resolved itself. I mean, you get what you learn. It's like being with a coworker, maybe you're not the biggest fan of, right? You learn how to coexist.
We all have those coworkers. We know those guys and girls and
Not
people.
we're not going to name names, but
No. Gee.
who?
Sorry.
um,
I got something in my throat.
I actually don't know what you said, so maybe that's good because yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Still
Um, okay,
not.
so but yes, so all kidding aside, Jeff McNeil, not sad to see him go, but I do respect him and thank you for your time here. But now it's time to bring in something newer, better, shinier, brighter for that
Jordan
outfield spot.
Rodriguez.
Yordan Rodriguez.
That's the pitching prospect, the new shinier.
I don't mean for Jeff. I mean to replace Jeff, as in a Kyle Tucker,
Yes.
as in a potential. Obviously it opens a spot for a potential Carson Benj or one of our top prospects in Jet Williams to come in. But
Well, he was the last piece of that sort of shakeup that you need to make to sort of overhaul that up the middle sort of defense and, the core of your lineup, right? So moving on from McNeil at second base, moving on from Nimmo in center, you now got a hopefully new center
Bellinger,
fielder, right? How dare you?
Bellinger,
And then you
Tucker.
got Semien, you got these good pieces that, again, somehow you're getting older while doing it, which is strange, right? I don't know. McNeil and Semien. McNeil's a little younger than Semien. I think like 2 years, maybe. Not
Probably
much,
still
but
like 34 though.
yeah, something along those lines. But that was the last sort of big piece, I think, in that overhaul that you guys are looking to make. And obviously, depending on how things go with Tucker and Bellinger, obviously waiting for those big ones to move before everything kind of those dominoes fall exactly, until everything else falls. But I kind of wanted to go back to the McNeil thing and say it
Please.
reminds me a lot of what happened with DJ LeMahieu in New York, right? Guy that you had play all over the field, big piece, kind of a leader, right? McNeil did lead in his own way. I think
He
it
did.
festered and soured over time. I don't know. I think maybe his brand just got tired, right? And like maybe that's where the clubhouse stuff was coming from, not just McNeil, not just Nimmo, maybe just a combination of guys who just weren't completely gelling, right? And as McNeil struggled, it clearly didn't work out with the clubhouse, as it was going. Now, where the difference comes is LeMahieu also won a batting title with the Yankees, consummate professional, not a guy who really says much, doesn't really have a lot of, frustrations to voice, it seems, or at least not in the way that he goes about his business. So when he left the team, I think it was a bigger hurt than it was. Like, I think it was actually a real loss for the clubhouse, where I think McNeil might actually be an addition by subtraction. You know what I mean? Because like no
Yeah.
matter what, like LeMahieu wasn't producing, but you still didn't really want to lose the guy. And clearly I don't think that was good for the team's overall makeup. But you got to move on. You got to make those tough decisions and get younger, more athletic, more versatile, so on and so forth. So
And you know what?
interesting parallel.
It is an interesting parallel. And just to add to that, it's always interesting because a lot of these guys end up being guilty by association, right? Like you're part of the core.
True.
You're not going the distance. You're not winning the World Series. You're not doing what you set out to do. Although you've had some good seasons, some good playoff wins, obviously memorable moments, as we know. But a lot of these guys, again, are just guilty by association. They're part of the core, and it's a part of the shakeup when maybe like they weren't even like a focal point of it, right? Like you have Pete Alonso and Diaz are probably focal points, but you have a Nimmo and a McNeil who just part of the process, part of the core, have been consistent players on this team and on this roster, and I think it was just time to kind of expedite it, ship them all out, and now you have the only most tenured Met on the roster now is David Peterson, which is crazy.
Big Pete coming back to
I
Petey
love Big
every
Pete. I
time.
really do. I'm a
Oh
huge
my
fan of his, as
goodness.
you know. I mean, I
That's
hope he has a good.
crazy.
I hope he actually put together a full season instead of one good first half, one bad second half. That's all he does. But we'll see. We'll see.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I guess time will tell. But we talked enough about free agency last episode. We'll get more into it as things unfold naturally and the market gets a little warmer. Not much has happened around the league. There was one big trade, Ed, we could touch on for a few minutes. Wilson Contreras was traded to the Red Sox as the Cardinals continue to ship out players. I know they got rid of Sonny Gray as well. So they're kind of cleaning house, it seems like, in St. Louis.
Yeah, but
Um,
Heim Bloom bringing in a lot of Red Sox pitching prospects. So guys that he had drafted, brought in, clearly likes him, wants to bring him over. So Hunter Dobbins leading that return back.
that's a
A
good
couple
ad.
other big pieces. So yeah, you never know. The Cardinals loading up with prospects is always sneaky scary. You never know what they're going to do, especially just for the long-term legacy of the club and what they can sort of rely on from their fan base. But yeah, big move, and it kind of also shifts the landscape in where they go for first base, right?
Yeah.
First base options are limited, and the Red Sox were in there for a lot of options, or a lot of those pieces. But right now, it looks like Wilson Contreras will be the first baseman, or at least platooning with a Tristan Casas when he comes back from the IL. I assume he'll be back mid-season. He had a pretty big
Yeah.
injury, um, but he could also DH, catch. It's a versatile piece, and taking that right-handed bat with playoff experience to Fenway Park is a bit of a scary prospect.
But it is kind of crazy how quiet it's been since that. I mean, that's one of the bigger trades, of the offseason, obviously. But since then, slim pickings at. I mean, Peter Fairbanks, which I talked about him, hoping the Mets would pick him up. Of course, Mets
Yeah.
can't sign 1 year, 13 million. He goes to Miami. He's going to probably destroy us now. But
Yep.
like,
And they will trade him for like a haul of prospects because you know how that's going to go. Or they
yeah,
continue to contend. You never know. They're a little sneaky right now.
they are a little sneaky. They are a little sneaky, and they're obviously a thorn in our side, as we know, since I was literally a baby.
And they just traded for Esteury Ruiz from the Dodgers. If you remember, he led
He's
the league in stolen
fast.
bases
He's
not
so
not more
fast,
than a year
dude.
ago, 2 years ago. So
He's
you
bringing in
never
another
know.
Juan Pierre situation over there.
Exactly, dude. Pesky baseball, man. Small ball, it's coming back.
I do enjoy watching them play, which is shitty, but like I do. But like, there's so many starting pitchers that still in the market, like Frember Valdez, Ranger Suarez, Zach Gallen, Lucas Giolito. I mean, you have some of the older guys like Verlander and Scherzer and Bassett, but they'll find a home, and they always will. They'll be there for some of the younger guys
I
and
still
whatever.
think Bassett's like that low key jewel that people are going to be like, oh, thank God he was still available. I got him for like, bargain price. And he's
Yeah,
going to put out, again, 150 innings a year, be that swing man when you need him to be in the playoffs. Anyway, yeah, it is crazy how many pitchers are still out there, but nothing's going to happen until Tucker or Bellinger. And
that's
I think it's
why.
weird. It's
Yeah.
Bellinger. It's Bellinger's the holdup, not even Tucker, I think.
But even for pitching, I mean, I guess it happens. You always wait for some of the big names to get off the market. Well, no, some of the starting pitchers don't have to.
It's
Well, you
more it's more
depends
the
how much you're
setting of
paying.
right. Well, yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. I just
No,
like it's
no,
more about the setting of market price. And this is all Boris. Scott Boris wants a market rate for these players. And if you don't get the most out of these two guys, you're not going to set the rate with Framber Valdez. Like you're just not. You're going to set the market with the everyday players. Then the pitcher might come with the bigger, you know what I mean? That's how I feel
100%.
at this juncture. And I don't know why people don't seem all that hot about Framber right now. As you were saying, some teammate, possible issues and like
Yeah.
not being a great guy in the clubhouse. But yeah, it's just crazy because we're sitting here talking about this and like what's going on, what's going on. And I really believe it's just those two guys, and then everything just it's all going to fall into place after that, like
Well,
rapid.
and to that point, we're also like talking like there's a Bregman and a Bo Bichette on the market. There's some massive names out there, dude. And yeah, they're
Yeah.
waiting. People are talking about Ketel Marte, trade bait and such. Like there's a lot going on, and there's gonna be a lot more to happen. I know today we're talking as if the teams aren't gonna change. Our teams are gonna look very different, in my opinion, even more so than they are today.
And think about that exactly. Think
I
about
hope they
how many
do.
things are meant to happen still for both sides. Why aren't the Mets or Yankees making any moves right now? Because they're both waiting on either guy.
And they're in on him, which is
That's my point.
crazy.
And then again, everything comes from there. Who do I have to trade now to make that money work? So now who I can
Yep.
bring in for this pitching or this relief pitcher? I'm not, why aren't they going after relievers right now? Why isn't Fairbanks an option? Because somebody who's going to go get that 13 million deal, he wants to secure that money as soon as he can because he knows that he has to rebuild his stock somehow. He stays in Florida, easy jump over. Everybody else, it's sort of like, no, I want my money and I want it now and I want that big deal. And if I don't get that big deal, I'm never getting another crack at the can. So this is what we're getting.
But to
And
that
everybody
point,
else is sort of
sorry,
like a Paul Goldschmidt or those little like sort of scraps that you know will be good ads, but they're not the multi-year possible only free agent opportunity for, big money contract.
100%. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off
No, you're
there.
good.
I was just also looking at relief pitchers like available. Like to your point, like you could sign these guys at 1 year, 10 million, 1 year, 12 million, depending. And Evan Phillips is a great
Hmm.
option, old, reliable from LA. Michael Kopech, dude, he throws gas, as we know. And you have
Yeah.
guys on this list that just really stand out, like Taylor Rogers, Tyler Rogers' brother, also very good. Tommy Kahnle on this list, like Kirby Yates. There's some big names. Liam
But
Hendricks, we know
all
what's happened,
all
but
all with their own flaws though, right? You're not gonna like
yeah,
commit money that you need to go to Kyle Tucker or Bellinger to for that or a Framber Valdez or you know what I mean? Like this feels especially we talked about this last week, right before the collective bargaining agreement is about to expire. This is the last year. So we're really seeing what they're going to get out of these owners because what happens is at the end of the deal expiring, we don't know if there's going to be uh, a salary cap. We don't know if
mm,
there's going to be something that holds up money next year, years from down the line, because maybe there's a strike. Maybe there's just some impasse that they can't, they meet an impasse, whatever. My point being, a lot's up in the air that could go wrong for both sides, players and owners. And I think right now teams are being super careful about how they spend their money because they know this is probably going to be what locks in their destiny for maybe a couple of years if they're not going to be at again, come to a reasonable agreement with the CBA and again, how everything falls from there. So I just
that,
sort of
yeah.
seeing, yeah, yeah,
No,
big
sorry. I
X
just say
factor.
that's a huge X factor. And it's a great point. Like they're really going to milk this as much as they can, and I don't blame them at all. And also, it also adds, it also makes sense because we're both looking for that outfielder, that corner outfielder. Maybe you guys not so much. I mean, I know you have some depth there. You have, obviously Dominguez and such, but like,
We could use one, yeah,
yeah, you'd want Bellinger, Tucker, and so would we. And we definitely need a left fielder now,
for sure.
considering Nimmo and McNeil are out. Like we're in on them. There's no doubt in my mind we're in on both of them. Kyle Tucker maybe less so because he's probably asking for 12 years or some shit. But
Yeah.
like Bellinger's probably asking for 7 or 8. Like these guys are probably not asking for a couple years.
They're pretty shocking, and a lot of people are just sort of like, "You're dreaming if you think you're getting that deal." But that's another point to be made too. You look at all some of the pieces that are available. You got a guy like Harrison Bader who had a really good year last year. The Mets could easily bring that guy back if they wanted to. You know what I mean?
But he's
Or
not winning you the World Series. He's not going to get you there. Now we
yeah,
need more. We needed a little pop. We
you
just
need
got
a
rid
full
of.
impact
Yeah.
bat kind of thing. Yeah. Well, here's the other. What I'm seeing a lot of right now, and this is not going to make you feel very good,
What is it?
is Austin Hayes.
I did see that. What the fuck?
And I'm just like, really? This is the guy that people are talking about as a backup option? Like, oh, if things don't go well with these two, we'll get Austin Hayes.
He's
It's sort of
basically
like,
Tyrone Taylor, just
it,
from the left side, in my opinion.
yeah. So
Is he on the left side? I don't even know. I think so.
I think is he left side? I don't
I
know.
could be. He just sounds like a lefty, if that makes sense.
I think he could have, I could have sworn he was right-handed, but
Yeah, he might be. He might be.
yeah,
But
he's a righty. But anyway, doesn't matter.
nonetheless, can't. I don't even know my fellow lefties. That's crazy. Um, nonetheless, I digress, and we'll wait and see what happens. But I think we should have some fun, Ed. Jump into some resolutions. I have a few for the Mets. Basically, what we're gonna do is like how you would take a personal resolution. Like, what do you want to change or improve on, right? Or do better or differently, or let go? Well, it's not really a resolution.
Right, like resolution can't be winning the World Series because you can't control
No,
that, right? Like that's
it's what can
obvious.
you
Like I would
control?
love to win the World Series. That's great. Yeah, I would also love to walk on the moon, but like you know what I mean. There's some things I would have to do first. So
We'll do
after
that.
that,
By the end of the
become an
year, we'll do that.
astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like go to astronaut school. Whatever. Work at NASA.
Yeah, that's it. Work your way
Apply
up the
for a
ladder.
job. Yeah, whatever it is. Lose 30 pounds to fit in my NASA suit. Bring it full circle.
But see, that's a good
My
point right there.
astronaut suit.
People say that, right? People say lose 30 pounds. It should be work out regularly and eat healthy.
Exactly. There you go. That's
That's
a good
it.
point.
That's a difference, folks. That's a difference. I'm saying it right here. The difference
Cut.
isn't achieving that end goal. It's what do you do to get there.
Exactly. See, this is a holistic program. We'll
Mm.
teach you how to get there, not just
Wait,
what you want to get
you know
out of
this
it,
guy?
but
This is so
how to
rare.
get it.
You know the guy on Instagram? I don't know his name, but he puts on glasses when he eats. This is so
Oh
random and
yeah,
off top.
Jordan the Stallion. Come a little
This
closer.
is so good. Yeah, come on.
I wish we had good sound effects there. We're gonna have to put some microphones
I'm
all over
so,
the
so
house.
I scared Blue. Oh, poor girl, poor girl. I'm sorry.
That's not how you're gonna get hurt. Never mind. I was gonna make
She's
some bad jokes, but she's so sweet. Don't do
she's a
that.
sweet girl. No, she's sleeping. She's good. She's a good
That's
girl.
good. Just like your
Um,
your front office. Anyway, so what's the
and
fun that you're
yours.
having?
Okay. So I'll give one, you give one, maybe we'll go
Yeah.
that way. But a resolution. The Mets had a rough 2025. Not everything went their way. Things weren't great for them. You know, they were a little sad, little regressed, a little burnt out, a little tired. They got to change things, right? They got to go to 2026 refreshed and new, and we are
Hmm.
doing that. We got rid of a lot of, I don't want to say dead weight. It was definitely not dead weight. It was a lot of weight that we needed and could have kept. So this analogy or whatever I'm trying to do here isn't working in my favor. But the point I'm making heading into the new year, the first resolution I'm giving has nothing to do with the player. It has to do with progress on the field and what whoever's on the roster. This is the roster we're assuming anyway, right?
Hmm.
It is hitting with runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Because as long as I can remember, they've been one of the worst teams, or definitely in the bottom half of the league with hitting with less than 2 outs runners in scoring position. You have a man on third, 1 out, you're striking out. Man on second, no out, you're striking out. Someone gets walked into a double play. Like they just don't know how to do it. It's like I don't know. It's like in their DNA. It's in maybe the coaching, obviously, or maybe it was part of the core and part of the um what do you call it? It's not like how the team operates. It's part of
No,
their
but their
the
strategy, their
culture, the
ethos,
strategy.
yeah.
Yeah, trying to hit too many home runs or getting away from certain things. And like again, like we know most of baseball did, but I guess my point is this team, whenever I watch them, and I watch most games every season, is it's the same thing, no matter who's on the team. And it's them getting too excited at the plate. And you like visibly see it. You could feel it. It's like you literally feel it and see that they're getting too excited, too jumpy, instead of just trying to do the job, move the guy over, get the guy in. There's the third inning, you're down 2-0, man on third, 1 out. Get that fucking run in, man. And they can't do it. Like that matters in the long run. And for me, this is one of the biggest resolutions they should have because this doesn't date back for just 2025. This probably dates back till 20 I don't know, till 1960
1962. Since
1962. Yeah, since this all started with these guys.
since
Um
since William Shea brought him to town.
that's it. That's it. But no. That's a big one for me. They have to go into the season again. That's the goal, right? But so what is the task to get there? It's a great question. Working with a different hitting strategy, different players, different core, learning from different veterans, learning from other people. Learn from other people how to improve and be better. Take
Ask your neighbor.
advice.
Just
Take
ask your
perspective.
neighbor.
I wish I had more glasses still on. I'll throw them.
See, that was the real opportunity. You ruined it. You
No,
blew
we
it.
had it worked out. What's his name? Jordan Stallion.
Jordan the Stallion. I know. Interesting name, but
I
now I
love
have to
that
call
guy.
him that.
We'll
Jordan Megan
shout
the
him. We're
Stallion.
gonna have to clip that and shout him out. You never know.
Yeah, he's got to come in. He's got to join us. Be like, then maybe he'll start throwing his glasses. That'll be great. He does
That'd
throw
be
his
great.
glasses, right? Yeah, he
Oh
doesn't he
yeah.
throw them? Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I didn't
I
just
thought
throw
that
him
was
for
you for a
fun.
second. I was like, wow, that was good, man. We got to use that. Well, no, I see where you're coming from because a lot of what you've just said is the same exact. I'm kind of annoyed because now I wish I went first. Is exactly what I want the Yankees to do, which is sort of just organizational philosophy, right? And that maybe is where you're going to. Because how do
Mm,
you achieve it? My first thought was, oh, cut down on strikeouts, cut down on, and but how do you cut down on strikeouts? And that is changing your sort of approach at the plate. The three true outcomes idea of again home run, strikeout, or walk. Get that out of your head at least halfway through the game. Let's say maybe your strategy innings 1 through 3 is hit the ball out of your shoes, but take your best swing no matter what. And if you strike out, no big deal. You still got 6 more innings to play. But when it comes to a bigger moment, let's tighten that grip, or not tighten the grip, but choke up on the bat a little bit. Let's shorten that swing a little bit. Let's take the line to line approach. Let's put the ball
mm.
in play and put pressure on our defenses or on the other defense, right? Play baseball, station to station game. And if you hit a home run along that way, great. But and what I was really going to call it is the Blue Jaysification of baseball, right? Because
Yes.
it's what we just saw this year. And other teams have done it for plenty of time. But the Blue Jays we're the ones who probably did it most successfully over the last 5 years. And that is, again, we can all hit home runs. We have the ability. You got Vlad Guerrero on that team. You got Kirk. You got a bunch of other big boppers, Bichette, dudes who can drive the ball, George Springer. But they also know what their job is any given moment, and the overall situation calling for whatever they need to do in that moment is bigger than just hitting the ball as hard as you possibly can. So I think that leads to fewer strikeouts. I think that leads to more hits with runners in scoring position with less than two outs. All those things that you're looking for, I think the Yankees also are looking for. And I think,
Mm,
oddly enough, Carlos Mendoza taking the Yankee way with him to the Mets only continues to perpetuate that concept of this is how baseball's done. The more you give David Stearns a chance to sort of put his stink on that roster, maybe you do get more of that, right? Bringing in guys that he's brought in are strategic. Marcus Semien does have that sort of ability, right?
I agree.
Um,
Polanco as well.
Polanco is huge for that, right? But again, where do you get the home run pop line, production that Pete provided with implementing those same strategies, right? Because
You
I would
don't.
argue that Pete actually hit more that way than in his career this year, I should say,
Yeah, dude,
than
look at
he
all the
ever had in
doubles
his
that guy
career.
hit. He was a doubles
Exactly.
machine.
So something changed within him, but what
Yeah,
happened to the rest of the team? So yeah,
I like
sorry
that.
to
And
steal your thunder there.
no, I mean that's the beauty of this pod, right? A lot of similarities between the crosstown rivals here, so it's always nice to have. And another one that came to mind, which is kind of funny one. I wrote it down. Well, we're gonna stop making this is kind of the fans too, but it's a player. No, it's the players. They're the ones on the field. Stop making every game feel like a therapy session, meaning that wins should not require emotional recovery time. When you think about it, Ed, every single Mets game, at least 40%, 50% of these games, and I know obviously I'm the Mets side of the pot. I watch most of the Mets games as you watch most of the Yankee games, but I know you know your ball regardless. Mets games never come easy. Those wins are never coming easy. Once in a while, sure, you got your 12-0 blowout in Colorado in the middle of fucking August. But the point is, they're never coming easy, dude. They're always blowing a lead in the fifth or the sixth. They're making a stupid error, bonehead play, or they're coming back from 8 runs down to lose 8-7, or to go to extras and you're up till 3 in the morning in LA and then they still lose. And then they're going to see San Diego, and Diaz is giving up, back-to-back home runs. Jackson Merrill's walking you off. You're in Arizona. Corbin Carroll walk-off grand slam. The list will go on. I could go on all night about it, and I know it's all just baseball, Susan.
Basically, just don't go west is what it sounds like you're
Oh
complaining
yeah,
about.
the West Coast
Just as long
trips,
as Alec is in bed before 1 o'clock, he's a happy boy.
those late night games, man. I love them, but as I get older, I'm learning. I understand. I get it. I get it now. I understand. I don't want to go to bed 2 in the morning on a Wednesday night when I got a project to present on Thursday morning.
That just sounds like to me like you're letting the adult in you win. The kid must survive. You
You
must
know me,
kick
the
the adult
kid.
out of there.
You know me. The kid in me will never die.
As long as there's baseball, you'll always have a chance to live, young Alec.
Damn right. As long as I can keep playing too, forget about it.
That's it.
Um, I'll pass it back your way. You got any other resolutions for your
No,
boys?
that I like that. That was a good one.
Thank you.
I'm kind of wishing I had something similar because as much as okay, you know what? This is the best one for the Yankees this year. Avoid a mid-season epic collapse of any kind, right? Just play with the consistency where I don't have to say, "Oh, we're the best team in baseball. Oh my God, we're going to set a record, through May as the best team that ever played." Then June and July look like the worst team that has ever taken the field. Then August and September fight your way back into the division
Mm,
and possibly for a playoff spot. Let's just have a little bit more consistency throughout the season and we can talk about all the things that you can do in between and what that is mental skills coaching, general philosophy, or just organizational depth, right? Which is
yeah,
probably something. But right now, we're talking as if we've got the rosters that we've got. So, again, if we have to go into our minor league system and pull up a guy that may be a little too soon, like we did with Cam Schlittler last year, make those moves because right now, it's what you're doing is creating too stressful an environment in those last 2 months that I do believe somehow does crater your season or at least get in the way of you having a great playoff run. Because
100%.
you're not committing to making these moves when you should. Send down the Anthony Volpe when he needs to be sent down. You know what I mean? Like make those decisions when it's all going to shit because you need something to change.
Here we go.
You
So just
can't, right?
sorry, just to add to that, wrap it in a bow for
Yeah.
you, just to give it like a clean resolution that they would do actionable. Make the hard call. Make the hard choice.
There you go. Make the hard decision when you
Be
need to make it.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, be comfortable being uncomfortable. This is
Damn
something
right.
the Yankees always used to do, right? Yeah.
Start throwing shit. What else we got?
All my glasses are broken already. Otherwise, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I got
I
this
probably
glass.
broke
I
those.
just
Yeah, those are probably shot.
um, probably during a basketball game. But either way, that's it. It's make the uncomfortable decisions when you need to make them. I know baseball. You and I both know this. Stay patient. It's all going to work out. It'll probably be fine. But you can't do that after 3 weeks of being shown the exact same thing. 2 months of seeing the same. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we've seen, and consistently from the same guys year in, year out at that same time. You got to get something figured out between the ears.
And
Do what you need to do. Make the hard choices.
it all takes a little bit of patience.
Hey, look at that. Damn,
Very
that
funny you
couldn't
said I
have gone any better.
just got that done, baby. All
I was
right.
gonna say
All
that
right.
looks freshly shaved too. I didn't even see any hair growing over it yet.
No hair. Not one hair in sight. Um,
That's actually how hairless you are everywhere.
that's not true. Too Jewish for that, Ed. Um, but I will say I got another fun one. This one's good. And I think we're really tying this into some like holistic approach to a new year that people could take outside of baseball. So I'm very proud of that, by the way.
Yeah, look at us.
Um,
This
look
is
at
called
us.
healing. This is called growth.
Who would have thought? Growth is great. Growth is good.
Mm,
So
girth is
we
better.
can't hurt. We will we will
Good.
pause. We will stop turning every hot streak into a World Series parade. I will take
Oh,
sustainability.
will you? Because I don't think so.
I'm
I don't
going to.
actually think that's true.
Listen.
Is that the team's
Sustainability,
fault or is that your guy's fault? I think
sustainability
this
over the
maybe should
vibes.
be a fan's New Year's resolution. Maybe that's the approach we should have taken. We can go into that next week, but
No, because the Mets do
that's
this
what
too. Think
that sounds
about
like from you.
the Mets tend to get pretty, dude, best team in baseball started last year. We didn't make the playoffs, 45 and 20, whatever. And then
Mm.
they get excited. You're acting as if you won everything, and the season's over. You could tell in the press conference and the swagger, and I like it. You got to. We know baseball. You got to play loose, confident, with swagger. You feel good. You look good. You play good. We get it. But it's all about sustainability. It's a long season. We know it's a slog. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And the dog days of summer are always there to bite you in the ass. My favorite time of year, by the way. But I mean, who doesn't love the middle of the summer? It's beautiful.
Dogs don't like biting swamp ass. I'll tell you that.
Well, I would hope not.
Actually, they'll
But
sniff anything. I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I don't know what's going on now, but I will say
It's too cold.
sustainability, Ed, all you want to do is sustain, consistent, disciplined, not get too high or too low, especially in baseball. And again, people in life, grab my glasses, throw them against the wall. Um, so I think it really is just going to come down to being able and this is kind of mimicking you in a way, right? Where it's not taking every hot streak and running with it and thinking that's it, right? It's being able to bounce back. You lose 2 games off that hot streak, you're not losing 10 out of 11. You're going to reset and stabilize, and you're going to get back to playing good baseball.
Hmm.
And we saw it last year. There were so many up and downs. We came on this pod so many times. I remember both of our teams were on a 7-8 game lose streak. Both of them lost 12 out of 13. Then they won 10 in a row, whatever it was, but it was never sustained.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you have it, Susan.
Sustainability, the best ability, except availability. But sustainability is pretty good
I
because,
like it better. Well,
yeah,
availability is good. Sustainability is good. It's consistency.
consistency. Exactly. Continuity. You need something that's just gonna, and again, I don't know where that starts. Is that leadership? Is that, you know what I mean? And I
Leadership,
think I,
100% leadership.
and that's where I almost want to look at your thing and say maybe it's just identify a leader. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe that's a main sort of ailment to take care of that can sort of take care of some of those symptoms of who can bark at the team and say, yo, enough's enough. It's time to get it together. We got to move forward. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Or like
Simeon. I could see him being a barker.
he could be a barker, but like, does he give more voice to Lindor? Does Lindor finally say, okay, Nimmo's not here anymore, McNeil's not here anymore. I'm the more tenured guy, so maybe I can say what I got to say, and people will fall in line. So I
Maybe
almost
that's
look at like
why.
that. Yeah, I think going back to as you helped me with mine, I think a lot of what yours is find identify a leader, right? The Yankees got
Mm,
Judge. It's unquestioned Judge is your guy. You also got Stanton, who is like Judge's second hand man, right hand man. Like you can just feel that they work together well, right?
100%.
And like whatever Judge says, Stanton's gonna sit there and be like, "Yep, I'm your consigliere. I will do this." You know what I mean? Like this is
Yeah.
how this is gonna go.
He's co-signing
Um,
off on that every time.
exactly. So I think that's where you guys might benefit hugely.
I agree. Do you have any others, Ed, or any others that come to mind? I mean, it's never important. Like we said, it's not always good to do more than a few resolutions or a few goals or,
Yeah, no, I think three is a good
you know,
cap for it.
yeah, I agree.
I've had a few because I think it's just sort of, I think I got honestly, I think I got taken away with what we just discussed, and I should have my notes written down somewhere, but I've
That's all
largely
right.
been going with my gut and my heart on this.
That's all you should be doing.
Right? That's how I'm feeling. But I think it's trusting in your personnel a little bit more, right? I think that's something the Yankees can do. Um, Not pulling a guy at the second of, a little bit of the old school baseball mentality. I know that's a philosophical approach to some extent, but I think it's also just another organizational sort of how do you handle yourselves and how do you improve the day to day and not run into these problems. And I think the trust in the player is a big one, right? Not
Mm,
pulling a Jazz Chisholm out of the lineup when, you know, he's been your 30-30 guy just because there's a lefty, right? Just because new numbers might tell you that's the best decision, believe in momentum, believe in hot, believe in getting going. And if you got
yes.
a guy who's hot, stick with that guy. He deserves a chance at the lineup. Ben Rice, don't take him out after he's hit 3 home runs. Like just because he's young, no, give him the chance. He's young. You want to get as much of that as you can while it's good. So I think doing exactly that, trusting your personnel, letting young guys play while they're good. Jason Dominguez has largely been toyed with in the head. I think he deserves more of an opportunity, even if he has not performed well, even in the Dominican Winter League. If you believe in him, give him the opportunity. But don't give him like 20 games and say, oh, well, failed experiment. You know, you gotta give it a chance. And if you don't, then what are you doing? They need to start establishing their identity outside of Judge is our leader, going further from that point on. Judge is our leader, that's great, but it can't be Judge and just everybody else. It's got to be
Yeah.
who are his guys? Like Judge and Stanton, great. But Stanton is also a glorified DH. And like literally just is a DH at this juncture. You need the everyday guys. Cole has been hurt. You can't have a pitcher be that guy. You need someone else to sort of step up. Jazz isn't going to be that guy. I love Jazz, but he's like the lovable little brother. You got to find, those dudes who can also be the leaders in the room outside of Judge, but give people the chance to be themselves, but also the runway to play and improve and be the guys that you're backing up going into the season.
I love that. And I think it's another holistic approach at it, another trust. That's a good one. Trust is a
Right?
good one heading into the new year. You gotta be able to trust your personnel, trust your people, trust yourself.
And that's it.
And
It's
it's
all
funny. I
leadership, baby.
I know I gave three, so I'll just give this super quick, but trust came to mind when I was thinking this is more so just for our manager, Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah.
Let the pitchers finish the inning, like without having immediate compulsive or impulsive gut feelings to go to the bullpen and bring a guy in mid-inning. I think it's super overlooked now in baseball to not roll with the starter or, bullpen arm who's maybe been in for an inning or two or whatever it is, to then go to said bullpen to bring in a guy mid-inning where not a lot of guys can handle that pressure, especially in New York, as we know, and we see it happen time and time again. I don't care what your
Hmm.
numbers are. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're a dominant closer or a setup man. You come in mid-inning, it's just different. We know it's different. It's
Always.
just you're coming in, you're pitching from the stretch. A lot of these bullpen guys I know we know will start the inning from the stretch anyway, but besides the point. I guess it's just the fact of like it's uncomfortable and it's not the norm, right? And
Exactly.
Mendoza is one guy with a short leash on that. And
And there are a few guys who can do it, and you're like, that guy can come in a mid inning, but that those are so few and far between, and
trust
you
your
can't
arms.
rely on
Yeah.
that every time. Exactly.
Trust who's in.
Exactly.
Trust your starting pitcher, especially your starting pitcher who's been there, been in. And unless they have 110 pitches and they're gas, it's different, right? I'll make that caveat, of course, in nuance because it's fair. But
Totally.
also, you're 65 pitches in the fourth inning, and you have I don't know first and third no outs. You're down 2-0. Mendoza's pulling the guy.
Right. And on top of that, dude, you have the three batter rule where if the guy who comes in after, he's got to pitch to three batters. I'd rather give my guy who's like almost done two
Yes.
batters and then not have him face that third batter who's
Yes.
more scary just because, you know what I mean? I still
Yeah.
trust my arms to get me through one or two more guys. So, like the next thing, it's all cascading domino effects that winds up ruining your bullpen down the line.
Well, and I'll add to it, it's short-sighted, right? Because then you're thinking about, oh, you have 10 games in 11 days after that, and you just had your starter come out in the middle of the third or fourth inning, and you're taxing your bullpen early in a game against the Marlins when you have the Dodgers on the road. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
it's short it's short-sighted. I think a lot of
Totally.
times, sometimes it's not that you forfeit or wave the white flag, but you take a risk in leaving
Hmm.
your starter in, letting them go longer and further, and sure, maybe it'll backfire, but then you're still not taxing your bullpen, and you can still bounce back the next day or the day after.
Exactly.
Throw the
Yeah.
glasses.
Good call, man. And as we've said, kind of the theme in all of this, and it feels like the pendulum is shifting back toward old school gut feel baseball, right? Like do things the way they were once done. And the reason it can't be done that way now is because we have the data to back up these decisions. And if the manager goes with a gut feel that spits in the face of the data that the front office is providing him, then when he gets fired, people will be like, "Well, look, the data said he should have done that. He didn't do that. He thought he was
Exactly.
so clever."
Exactly.
And then they fire him, and those guys keep their jobs, and we keep going with the data. But that's the thing that will always be the separator. It's what I think the only thing that's keeping Dave Roberts, with a gig, right? You could say he's not as good a manager as maybe he should be. But at the same time, clearly something's working because he's pressing buttons that don't necessarily feel like the thing to do from the front office's call. He's doing it with the managerial gut. And even if a lot of them look stupid, some of them really do pay off. And I think that's kind of what we've lost in the art of managing.
It's intuition, right? It's energy. It's like you have a feeling, or it's
Yes.
knowing. It's not even just that. It's
Looking the pitcher in the eyes.
knowing
You
your
don't got it.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that you play long enough. They play their whole lives. They've seen every level of baseball, every player, all walks of life, and you just know who has and who doesn't, especially when you've been in it for so long, I think. And we don't give that enough credit. We look at the stats and the numbers from these nerds in the office, and no
Hmm.
discredit, no discredit to them at all. Um,
But it's true.
it's true. I mean, personally, I love the gut in baseball.
Mm. David Wells, Bartolo Colon.
I was waiting for that. Some of the big guys. Who else? Who else we got? Any other? Oh, Matt Stairs
Oh, Matt Stairs. There you go.
played on every team.
Heath Bell.
Ooh, Big Heath. That was a
Yeah,
good one,
that was a good
dude.
one, right? What
Oh,
else we
big
got?
Vogelback, obviously.
Oh,
Big
Volk. Oh my
DV.
God. Yeah.
The
Oh, Rowdy
DV.
Rowdy Tellez.
Rowdy. Oh, little Kirk.
Yeah. Yep. Kirk. Mo Vaughn. Mo Vaughn back
Mo.
in the
Big
day.
Mo.
Yeah.
Mo. Love it.
Mo.
Mo. Nuts guy.
See, we can keep
Oh,
going. We'll have to do that. Next Christmas time, we'll have to talk about best bellies. We'll do
best
something
bellies
like
in
that.
baseball. That's a good
Yeah,
segment.
that's a good one.
And
But yeah, man,
yeah.
all good.
I was gonna
Good
say
stuff.
it's been a pleasure. This is kind of a fun episode, guys. We're gonna be coming at you with different episodes as the offseason progresses. Because again, right now there's not much to talk about in terms of hot stove and trades and free agency, but we'll be giving you any live updates we can on social. Obviously, coming on here if anything big happens, especially for our teams. But that will do it tonight, Ed, with episode 23 of the Big Apple Battle, a New York baseball podcast. The season is under, I think, 90 days away. I'm super excited for opening day. And
Yeah,
I just need warm weather. I need baseball. I need that. That's the happy place, man. That's the happy place.
that's it, man. I'd be staring out the window waiting for baseball to come.
That's it. It's like that
It ain't
meme.
happening.
I don't know which meme. Probably a lot of memes like that. So there you go.
It's like a
It's like
Kermit
all
the
the
Frog.
memes.
It's like
Yeah.
all the sad memes. Anything you've sent in a GIF, just go through your phone, scroll
Oh
through, you'll
God.
find it somewhere.
But
But I do want to say this. Everybody keep an eye out on Okamoto Watch. Okamoto Watch. I'm just curious where this dude's going to end up. That's going to be an interesting piece. The Yankees could use a first baseman. Don't know if they'll go after him. He's a corner infielder. Something I think the Yankees need to figure out is lock down their corner infield situation. So
I like that last little shout out. That's a good touch, Ed. That's a nice touch there. You snuck it in there. I like
the
it.
window's closing, so you just got to pay attention. Can't say we didn't say anything about it.
And before we do, no, I like that. Before we do wrap up, I do want to say, all kidding aside, happy and healthy New Year to everyone out there. All the fans of the pod that have been listening and been
Yes.
loyal, mostly our friends, but we are going to expand and we are going to grow and we're going to get this thing big. And that is our vision for 2026. We're going to make things happen because we are going to be sustainable and consistent and truthful. All the shit we just said, baby, because this is the BAB and we're ready to roll.
Sustainability.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Talk to you boys soon.
Happy New Year, folks.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot.